Hey everybody, welcome to the crypto chart update for October 23rd, 2017. My name is Tim and I'm a retail investor and journalist. You can find my regular chart rundowns on tradingview.com or follow me on Twitter under BerlinTrader591. This video is also brought to you by CryptoKing.org, which is a great source for the latest crypto news as well as these videos. The goal of these videos is to analyze the trends and go through some trade ideas to help you broaden your understanding of technical analysis and make better decisions based on proper risk management. As always, please leave me a comment, a question below with your chart request, send me a message, and support me by using the affiliate links in the comment section. Check out my wallets, my recommended trading platforms, chart platforms. All these links are links to programs and services that I actually use. So I won't recommend anything unless I actually think it's a good value. And trust me, I test a lot of these services out, and I have a lot of experience with retail trading and options and stocks, and it's good to filter out the weeds. So remember, this is an analysis only for entertainment purposes. There's no official trading recommendations here, so please consult your registered professional. Without further ado, let's get into the charts. But first, I wanted to check out CryptoKing.org to check out the latest news. And there's been a lot going on, right? We have countries and exchanges kind of battling over what cryptocurrencies will be recognized, or if they will be recognized at all. We have China shutting down exchanges and then saying they might reopen them. We have Japan opening the markets for more cryptocurrency transactions. We have big bankers and government officials and IMF officials, kind of slandering Bitcoin and saying it's dangerous, but then the next day they say it's the future. So there's a lot of volatility. And if there's a lot of volatility, that means we can trade around it. That's good for trading when there's a lot of volatility, because it means we can play the ranges. And in the upcoming weeks, we have the Bitcoin forks that, of course, will be very interesting. And we want to get a clue of how Bitcoin will react to those forks. I mean, can we get an edge from any of the information that we've seen before? Well, that's why technical analysis is so important, because we can look at patterns, we can look at the past, and we can try and give ourselves an edge, or at least a level to trade against when the fork comes. So we're not just blindly getting out or buying into the fork, right? We don't want to be selling or buying just on a hunch. We really want to be making a calculated decision. So let's check out Bitcoin. We had that first box I drew between 1,500 and 3,000. We were in that range from May until August, and that's when we had the last fork. So what happened with the last fork is that a lot of people bought in here in late July, and there was consolidation underneath this 3,000 level. So what happened there is that a lot of buyers came in anticipation of the fork, but then the buyers were kind of exhausted, and when the fork hit and everything remained stable with Bitcoin, it was really a proof of strength there. Bitcoin broke through that 3,000 level, and that's when we saw that huge run up to 5,000, almost a 100% increase up to 5,000. And that's where we pulled back. That's when I started my crypto chart updates. That was a really interesting time, because we were just pulling back the whole day, or the whole week, the whole month, and we bounced off of that support level just like beautiful clockwork, and we bounced back up to 5,000 this month, where we proceeded to break out. Now, I would have liked a bit of consolidation underneath that range, just like back in July before the breakout, but we didn't really get that. Instead, we just broke out of 5,000 and we pulled back, retested that 5,000 support, and we bounced off of it strong. It was a great time to buy, great buying opportunity, and we bounced up to 6,000. Now, if you noticed from my previous videos, that was my target, 6,219. The 161 retracement from that August to September pullback. So we hit our target almost perfectly. Isn't it amazing how those levels work out? I mean, our fib retracement level was 6,219 and the official high was 6,189. So about 20-30 points away from our actual target. So that was where we should have been taking profits, guys. We should be taking profits around this 6,000 level in general, and you see people are taking profits around that level. We have, if we go down to the 60-minute chart, you can see it in a bit more detail. We popped up to that 600 level, and people have been taking profits. Since then, we've seen increased selling volume, which is to be expected. So nothing surprising there. Back to the one-day chart here. Nothing surprising there. We're consolidating underneath that 6,000 level. Now what's going to happen here? Well, all we know is that this 6,000 level is a resistance. It's been tested. We now have a level to trade against. We have a new box. We have the 5,000 to 6,000 box. We could see consolidation in that level, or we could see a breakout. Now, I think the breakout or the pullback is going to be centered around the hard fork of Bitcoin Gold, as well as the SegWit 2x fork in November. If we look back to August, then we saw a pullback from that 3,000 level. We saw some consolidation, and then on a successful test of Bitcoin's staying power, we saw a breakout. So if we use history as an example, although it never really repeats, then we might get some consolidation as people kind of, if we get consolidation, it means that people are waiting for the fork. However, we could get a repeat of what happened in July, and we could get a run up with people buying into Bitcoin to get that free money, to get that free Bitcoin Gold or that free SegWit 2 coin, that 2x coin, and then we might hit our second target, which was that 6,984 or 7,000 level. So right now, you know, I've been in this since the breakout because that was the signal, and right now it's not a great entry point, right? For long-term Bitcoin holders, sure, it could be a great entry point if you think Bitcoin's going to 10, 20, 30,000, 100,000 over the long term. But short-term trading in the next weeks, months, especially around the fork, I would either hold your Bitcoins through the storm in a hardware wallet like a Trezor or a Ledger or a Bitcoin Core wallet on another computer. Hold your coins in an offline wallet where you can guarantee that they're safe and weather the storm, or you can sell now and see what happens and buy in later on a stronger signal. Because right now is not an entry point. We hit our target. We want to be getting out, guys. We don't want to be buying here, because even if we go up to 7,000, you know, we could equally as well pull back to 5,000. So it's really just a 50-50 chance if you buy in here, right? We want to buy at that support level around 5,000, or we want to buy on a breakout of those new highs at 6,000. So a strong breakout above 6,200 would be my next entry level. So a strong breakout over 6,200 or a pullback to that 5,000 level. That's where we want to be entering our trades, with a stop under that 5,000 level or a stop under that 6,000 level if you buy a breakout of 6,200. So we do not want to be buying here at 5,900, just in the middle of the range. We want to wait for that pullback before that breakout. So Bitcoin looks relatively strong. I mean, we broke out in October, and now we're consolidating underneath our target. We hit our targets. That's a bullish sign. It's not a bearish sign. And still, nothing has changed from the last videos. We have an upward sloping 200-day moving average. We have overbought conditions in the RSI. We have strong green volume when it comes to the volume. And we've reached our Fibonacci target. So by all signs, Bitcoin is in a strong uptrend. Now that does not hold true for the other cryptocurrencies, which is a little disappointing. To be honest, I'm a little surprised because last time, you know, we didn't see such a pullback, right? So here, back here in Dash Coin, for example, this was the time of this was the run up to the Bitcoin fork, right? So we saw Dash consolidating, but it was making higher highs. It was pressing up against that resistance level before it broke out. This time though, we see that price making lower highs, which is a little weaker than when we saw the price pushing up against resistance back in the summer. However, if we do look at Dash, right, before the fork, there was a decrease here. It came back up, decreased again, it consolidated for a while, and then broke out. So we saw a lag. If we compare, the breakout in Dash was August 15th, whereas in Bitcoin, that breakout was August 2nd. If we look at Ethereum, the breakout was August 3rd, so a day later. If we look at Litecoin, the breakout in August, well, there was no breakout in August. We had to wait until August 26th, August 27th that week, so before we saw the breakout. So what this shows us is that Bitcoin leads. Bitcoin leads. What Bitcoin does, the other cryptos follow. So I have a core position in Bitcoin, but then I have, let's say, 30% in alt currencies, because although I know that they will break out later, or I assume they'll break out later, I don't want to miss any breakout that could happen. But it is frustrating, right? A lot of people out there are frustrated. It is a little frustrating when you see Bitcoin moving up strongly, hitting new highs, increasing from 5,000 to 600 right there. And then we go over to the next big player, Ethereum, and it's just, and it just failed. We had a failed, let's zoom in a little bit more. We had a failed breakout of this range here. We broke out nicely. It looked strong, but then just rolled right over. Just rolled right over. We've just seen one red candle after another. However, we are still safely inside of this lower trend line and this consolidation range between 100 and 400. Pretty big consolidation range, but the bigger the base, the bigger the breakout. So I still expect, as per my prediction a few weeks ago, that we hold this support, we hold this moving average, 200-day moving average, we hold this trend line. We have two strong supports here. If we can hold this in a big way, like we did back in July, like we did in September, if we can see a good reversal candle pattern, like a reversal hammer or a bullish engulfing pattern, then I think we'll have the strength finally to get up here and bounce out of 400. And once we break that 400 mark, my target is 565. First stop, 565. So that would be a pretty sweet 25% move there. But I think we're going to need to see the forks come and go without incident, see Bitcoin succeed in a strong way. And once people get through those forks, they're going to be selling their altcoins for Bitcoin, and they're going to be putting their Bitcoin into other altcoins, because right now I think that's really the main reason why Litecoin, for example, and Ethereum and all the altcoins are really just kind of bouncing on support and not pressing higher against resistance like Bitcoin, because people are taking all their money into Bitcoin. And to be honest, I did the same thing, right? I took out some of my profits from Litecoin, I took out some of my profits from Ripple, and I put them into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is just showing the momentum. So the money goes where the momentum goes, and right now we see the momentum coming out of coins like Ripple here, and same thing, we had a false breakout. That's always a bearish sign. We tried to get out of this range here. We tried to break out of this trend line resistance. We just couldn't manage it, and we failed. Now we're just falling back down into that consolidation triangle that we've had for months. But it's the same story. If we can hold this moving average, this 200-day moving average, and if we can hold this lower trend line bound, right? If we can see a bullish candlestick reversal pattern there, that would be a great sign, and I think we will finally break out. And I think we'll break out when we see the money from Bitcoin rotating into the money, into the altcoin space. So things look, tentative. There's a little bit of insecurity out there, but that's when you really need to make your move. You need to stake your thesis, plant your feet, and make your move. Because if you wait for it, you're going to miss it. Yeah. So my thesis is that, Bitcoin is strong. People are putting their money in Bitcoin because that's the momentum play right now. They want to get the free coins. When the fork happens and there's no incident, then I think Bitcoin's going to shoot up even more. We'll see that breakout of 6,000 or 7,000. And then, just like in August, people will start taking their profits and moving to the altcoin space, and we will see breakouts in the altcoins a few days later or a few weeks later as the money moves out of Bitcoin into the altcoin space. So there's a lot of opportunity in the coming weeks. It's a really interesting time in November. There's a lot of opportunity, so pay attention to these consolidation patterns because they're either going to break up or they're going to break down. I mean, if they break down, then you know what? We are going to go into a longer period of depressed prices, just like back in 2013, the Bitcoin winter, as they say. If we break down those out of all of these consolidation patterns to the downside, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, all these patterns have huge air pockets below them, right? There's nothing down here to stop us from falling hard. So that's a risk, However, my thesis is still bullish just because you got to stick with the technicals. And we have those volumes, we have the overbought conditions, we have upward sloping moving averages, we have fundamentally in the press more conversation about Bitcoin. So I'm still bullish, but we could see a serious pullback if things go wrong, if the fork fails, or if another country like the United States bans Bitcoin. Right, that could really hurt. Or if they ban cryptocurrencies in some way, that could really hurt. But remains to be seen. That's why we want to make our thesis. Let's just look at the altcoins really quickly. Some of my favorite ones. We have Neo. Same thing, really, with all of these coins. They're not really doing much. That volume is just falling off a cliff. There's not really much happening in these altcoins. Volume falling off a cliff. I mean, look at OMI's Go, OMG. I mean, huge volume back in August, right? We had a huge run up. I mean, that mania of Bitcoin where everyone was just like popping their cherry for the first time. We just had that huge run up, and now we've just been consolidating sideways for months. Nothing's really happened. We need some kind of catalyst. We need some kind of news or some kind of acceptance of Bitcoin somewhere. That's really going to get the ball rolling. PivX. Where's my PivX? My favorite PivX. Still hasn't broken out of that range. But we have a nice little smile pattern here. A rounded bottom. And again, all signs, even in the altcoins, point to possible breakouts, right? I mean, IoT. Well, that's one that doesn't look so hot. Right, that kind of has just been breaking down. So a lot of these altcoins showing consolidations or weakness, and that's not really what we want to see. Well, there's Vertcoin. It's actually looking pretty powerful. It's an exception to the rule. We got a nice rounded bottom here, some consolidation underneath that resistance, and boom, popped out over the last few days. So that looks really good. So there are some exceptions to the rule, but overall, we're in consolidation patterns. And the only thing breaking out is Bitcoin. Hopefully Bitcoin is a leader and not a lagger to all the other coins. But I fully expect Bitcoin to hold its own. I think it has a lot of network effects going to its advantage. And if Bitcoin can hold its ground over the forks in the coming days and weeks, then we should see some strength in the overall space. So stay posted, guys. Keep watching these videos and check out my post on tradingview.com under Berlin Trader 591. Until next time, peace.